Well, this is the park that I used to hang out at as a kid. Elementary school, junior high, high school, in the summertime on weekends. This is Conscious Park near Eubank and Candelaria in Albuquerque. It's never had a lot of big shade trees. It's always had this big open area that now is used on certain times of the year for football or soccer. But at the end of the park up here are these little old apartments. My stepsister lived at one of these apartments back in the day. But this is Monday, and the greenskeepers, the city parks and recreation department, have just finished mowing the park here. So we have all these furrows of grass clippings, and it's kind of like trudging through a freshly mown field of hay, which I can only imagine since I don't know what that is like. And there's a playground area with moms or grandmas and their kids having fun with playground equipment. Across the street is some junky old houses with clutter in the front yard, especially this one that has an interesting looking teardrop trailer. Anyway, kick it around on a piece of ground in my hometown, as Pink Floyd would have said. There's the buzz of cicadas in the trees in this mid-August, just before or right as school is starting up again. And I look across the reaches of this park as if I was looking back in time. I look across and see this house that was the same house that this kid used to live at. I think his folks rented the house. And he was really into Bruce Lee, and I remember he would go across the park here and meet us, and he would bring his nunchucks, and he would practice his nunchucks and brag about how he was a black belt and this or that, and we kind of half believed him and half didn't. But these are kind of the kids we ran across. Park kids that live near the park, would hang out by the park. And I look across the vast distances of the park toward that house as I'm looking back in time simultaneously. I can still see him there with his nunchucks, imitating Bruce Lee. One day at the park here, I was lying out in the middle of the open area, far away from any trees. It was a clear day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, just blue sky, green grass. I was lying on my back looking up, and I figured out that I could slightly arch my back and look up, and I could see behind me, I could see the park and the sky upside down. And so in my vision, I saw an upside down world at the top of the view, and at the bottom of the view was the sky. And if I held that position for a few minutes, I started to get a sense of vertigo, as if the world was upside down and I was going to fall off the world down into the sky. It was a really disconcerting feeling, but at the same time it was very interesting that I could induce that sense of vertigo anytime I wanted to by going to the park, lying down on my back, looking up at the sky, and then looking up backwards behind me and make the world upside down. I've always liked making the world upside down. And then one day, this old lady was walking a giant St. Bernard dog, and the dog was not being very obedient, wasn't leash trained, and we went over to help her with her dog, and kind of befriended us, and we kind of started hanging out at her house on the off days once in a while. She became kind of a friend of the family, and she worked in the base. She worked at some secret project, but she was like a secretarial kind of admin person, and she was an alcoholic, I think. She used to drink gin all the time, but we were too young and naive to know any better. But it was kind of interesting befriending adults as kids. We were pretty trusting back then, you know. This is the early 1970s. So this park has kind of had a lot of history for us. We used to be on foot or on bicycle, and these city parks, public libraries, and shopping malls were our kind of destinations to get out of the heat of the summer. Kick it around on a piece of ground in my hometown.